Gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this. You've made the best Punisher movie that Disney couldn't.
I'm glad to hear.
Well, this is
Yeah, thank you.
the second time this has happened this week. We had Sinners, which was supposed to be a prequel to Blade, that they dismissed and gave it to Ryan Coogler, and he came up with Sinners. And here we are, Stand Your Ground, which is essentially a Punisher movie that's better than any of the Punisher movies that have come out.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
amazing to hear.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, take us through the film itself. I mean, this is about Jack Johnson, a special forces operative that, well, lives up to the title and standing his ground when people are trying to intimidate his family.
Yes. On to you first,
Yeah. So I mean, it's we constructed this concept so that we have a character build up in the start, and then things happen, as and then it builds up to this massive ending. So it really goes from 0 to 100.
Gentlemen, with a film like this, nature can sometimes be the hindrance and the villain, or it could be your shield and your guard. How important was it to have this natural setting and often use of natural light to make Stand Your Ground?
I mean, the concept was to have this house and make everything around it. I mean, the concept is almost like Home Alone, but for adults, with lots of action. So the question was like, what if Sergio Leone made Home Alone with action? Then probably something close to Stand Your Ground.
Daniel, fill us in on your part, man, because that is probably the best European definition I've ever gotten for
So one more
like
time. What was the question?
Oh, I said take us in your perspective, because this is the best Scandinavian answer I've gotten, is that Stand Your Ground is adult Home Alone.
Yes.
It sounds
Yes.
very Viking
Well,
in that regard.
yes. And when Fansu sent me the script, that's what he said to me. It's like almost like Home Alone for adults. And I said, I'll look into it, So I think it's a good definition of the film. But of course, there's a little more serious element to it as well. It's standing ground. It's all around standing ground laws in the States. There's a little bit more serious feel of it, but it's a kind of a good mix of the seriousness and the light tone of some of this. I think you've seen the movie, so you probably know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. No, it's a
So
fantastic film. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Just in this regard, having competed in powerlifting and bodybuilding, it's a different setting than you being a soldier, because when you're that heavy or lifting that heavy, the flexibility isn't there, which is something you need quite a bit of when it comes to the physicality of this film. How does your workout transition from powerlifting and bodybuilding to now being more flexible and functional lifting?
yeah. So when I decided to make movies about a little bit more than 10 years ago, I went through a transition where I leaned down a little bit and I started doing a lot of more stunt training, trained with private contractors, military groups. I did a lot of training with them over a longer time. So and through that process of doing a lot of stunt training and army training, I kind of transferred, and with acting training, I went into this where I have this package, where I can do my action. I know how to do it, a little bit more flexible, but I still have got the power, the muscles and stuff. So so I probably lean down between 10-15 kilos since my competition days. So that made me much more flexible, because I'm telling you, when I was peaking in bodybuilding, I was in the heavyweight, and if I walked up a mountain, I was like, I was dead. I couldn't walk, because I get so much pump in my legs and everything. So I changed that over the years, Now I can run, I can do jumping and all these things. So it's a kind of, but I still want to have that package, you know, with the muscles and stuff. So I try to fine tune it a little bit.
And Fansu, you being a martial artist, you've now found the balance between the martial and the art when it comes to filmmaking, especially in an action movie like this. How much of that influence and the fluidity of the artistic aspect of martial arts and the combative aspect go into your storytelling? Because your visuals are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's I mean, I see myself as a former martial artist, but I, you know, the philosophy, something I mean, I've carried to this day, the mindset of, you know, like, you know, not giving up, you know, dedication, and really pushing it in all aspects, and also, you know, the combination of directing and also make, you know, all the editing myself as well. Because everything, you know, when I actually shoot, I edit in my head all the time, even though, you know, even with, you know, several cameras, you know, and that's the process and the concept I use. So it's more, so even though, you know, there is no martial arts, you know, in the film itself, at least, you know, the philosophy is there.
Yeah. As that philosophy takes shape within your genre of style, especially with being an action filmmaker and a filmmaker in general, how important is it with a shoot production like this that's a little bit faster than most film settings to have that pacing and that discipline in getting this done?
It's a very big deal for sure. Everything from stress, you know, handling stress and pressure, and also, you know, understanding action, and especially actually, you know, understanding, you know, which pieces you're going to use, because that's a big you know, big benefit to be a, you know, your own editor as well.
Yeah, the hero is only as good as his villains, and with Peter Stormare being in this film, who's one of the best character actors and also one of the best villains, how important was it for Peter to be a part of this story to enhance everybody's performance, really?
You asking me?
Both of you.
So for me, it was very important because probably all of us, we grew up with his movies. So it was a very big honor when he wanted to do the movie. And yes, he's amazing. And then I just have to try to step up, you know. So for me, it was very good. I knew I have like my other side, let's say, this is great, you know, and but I love it because this come back to competition, you know. It's like the better performer you go against, the better you need to deliver yourself. So for me, it was amazing, and he gave us a lot of good advices on the film set. So I'm very grateful for what he did for us, and I hope we can do something together again later.
Yeah, he was really amazing to work with. I mean, it was really, you know, a dream to work with, you know, such a good, you know, experienced actor. And
The film
the whole project, you know, lifted as well.
The film comes out on Friday, May 9th in theaters. When you get a theatrical release for an action film, which not too many are getting as much attention as they used to, how exciting is that for you as a performer and for you as a director to make sure that these are going to be out in the theater and people can come and have that full experience and being immersed in a story like this?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's very exciting. I mean, this is my first film in the theaters, so I'm super excited. I can't wait, you know, for people to see it.
I think it's quite important to still make sure movies get into the cinema because as you know, less and less movies is just the big the Mission Impossibles and the Marvel movies. So I think it's really important that we keep some of these smaller films in the cinemas. So that I think is really important. For my personal point, it's not so important like for me to feel it's in the cinema. It's more for the film. I think it's important we keep because probably like both of you, I love going to the cinema. I love to go to the cinema, sit down, with people and watch a movie.
And this is one you
It's a
definitely
good
want to sit with
experience.
people. No, you're correct, because this is one that you want to go with your friends and then have a
Yes.
discussion with afterwards.
Yeah.
And I remember when I grew up, every Friday we went to the cinema. So me and my mates, we were going to gym. We were gym mates, you know. And we went on every Friday. We drove into the the bigger city to watch the new film every Friday on the big screen, the big stage one, you know, the biggest screen. And it was our Friday thing from my teenagers until the mid-20s, you know. We were every week, the new movies, is always a new movie every Friday, and we were booking tickets for it. And we had some popcorn, even if we were bodybuilders, you know. We bought the popcorn and some Diet Coke, and we sit down and watch the movie and laugh together. And after, it's like, wow, you know. It's important.
Absolutely. You know, there is there is this excitement for a film like this where you get to sit there and, you know, what if this happened to me? How would I react? You know, as an audience member, we like to put ourselves in the position of the hero. When you get the script, first and foremost, from the writing team of Craig Walser and Sergey Zalesko, you know, and then see what they've come up with, how magical is it for you to take the written word on the page and now transform it into something physical and tangible?
Who was that question for?
For both of you, one from the vision of the director and one for the vision of the actor.
Okay, I can start. For me, it was really exciting because, first of all, you know, the name of the film and the subject about this law was, you know, totally new for me. So I was, you know, so I really made a lot of research because you can only find this law in the US. So that was very intriguing, and also, you know, having action aspect of it as well, that mix, almost like, you know, a film from the 90s, you know, in style. So that's really, you know, up my alley.
For me, it was, I love the concept. When I read it, I just love the concept. And then it's always exciting to translate written pages into visuals. You know, that's what we do. We translate it basically into visuals. And I love the challenge of it. You know, it's a little bit, you just need to trust your preparation and your training, and you go on set, you know, Fansu is standing there, you have the DOP, and you go into your zone and you just go by them. You know, you've done some analysis on what you want to do, but then you just let it go and become this character and see where it's going.
Gentlemen, I really want to thank you for your time today, talking to me about Stand Your Ground, coming to theaters May 9th. You can get your tickets via AMC Theaters. Daniel, Fansu, it's been a great pleasure. Hopefully there's going to be a sequel at some point and we get to talk to you about that one.
Yep, for sure.
Yes.
Take care.
Thank you so much.